Welcome to Quick Hits, presented by Grow My Cleaning Company. Everything you need to know to grow your cleaning company.
The second thing that you do is you spend once you've recovered those ground rules, two things have to happen. Three things actually have to happen before you even think about giving them a bid. Thing one, you've got to get pain. Like I said, no pain, no sale. And they don't want to tell you. You're going to ask them their pain, and they're going to say the same thing every time. I want the cheapest price and the most cleaning. That's not their pain. Their pain might be, we're afraid we're going to get stolen from. Their pain might be, one of the cleaners was rude to the CEO. We don't want that. Another cleaner didn't show up, or they're going to lose our keys, or with Lamar, you're not in business long enough, which, just so you know, my coaching on that is they're not really concerned with how long you're in business. They're concerned you're not going to be able to solve their pain. Had you been able to have that discussion with them around their pain, I promise you how long you've been in business don't mean nothing about nothing. So you really got to kind of suss out what their pain is. Why did you call me? There's a reason. You have other things you want to do than fooling around with the janitorial service. So I promise you, if they called and set an appointment and set aside an hour of time uninterrupted to talk to you, they have pain. Right? So that's what I spend 80% of my time on. What is the pain? Once you've got that, then you talk about budget. And people are nutty about budget. They want to talk about it way too early or way too late. After they've given the bid, they go, yeah, our budget's $2,000. You came in at $4,000. We're not interested. It's too late. You should have talked about the budget way before then. And the best time to talk about budget is right after they're in pain and they're really connected with why this is such a big deal in their life. So when they're like, oh my gosh, and if you do a good job, they get emotional, like, oh my gosh, these cleaners, I just want to kill them. They take me for granted. I feel like they're not treating me right, and they charge me for a bunch of time, and they half-ass it. I really feel like they're taking advantage of me. Ooh, now taking advantage, that's an emotional word, right? There's a difference between saying I'm not getting good service and I'm feeling taken advantage of. Do you see the difference in emotion there?
Big difference, yeah.
Okay. So once they say something like, I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of, now, if the pain is they miss trash can liners sometimes, that's not an expensive pain to fix, right? You can't charge a bunch of money for that. But if their pain is I'm getting taken advantage of, and you can save them from that pain and say, so you don't feel respected, you work so hard to have the money to be able to pay the cleaners, and you don't feel like they're treating your property with the respect that it deserves, and you work so hard to own this business, and you feel like they're stealing from you. Do you see how they're like, oh my gosh, that they're really in pain? If you talk about budget at that point, you're going to get their real budget, and you're going to get the high end of their budget, because what you're really asking them isn't what your budget is. It's how much are you willing to pay to make this pain go away? How much? Let's just get this fixed, right? I'm not here to clean toilets. I'm here to fix your problem. Let's solve this problem together. And you get paid so much better for problem solving than you get for cleaning toilets. So the whole conversation should be about pain. And why is this important, and what problem can you solve, and how big of a problem is that in their life, and how is that affecting them personally? You start getting this information from them. Then when you move to budget, their budget is not for how much to clean that toilet. It's how much to solve this pain, and you're going to find the budget is a lot higher, okay? Last piece of information you need before you go, other than pain and budget, and you haven't even walked a job yet. This is just a conversation. There's been no bid, nothing. You've got to get their decision-making process. So before you even think about giving them a bid, it's decision-making process in terms of what's going to happen. So if they say, well, if I'm not able to disqualify you, you're not able to disqualify me, what would you like to see happen? They're going to give you some sort of something. That's their decision-making process. So when you hit that again, you're going to want to be very clear. Well, I got to get the bid to this guy, and there's a bunch of tricks. Not tricks, but a bunch of ways to get that guy on the appointment so you don't have to go. So long story short, before you even think about giving them a bid, you've got to have ground rules, you've got to have pain, you've got to know what their budget is, and you've got to be clear on the decision-making process. And you're going to agree on all these things before you even think about giving them a bid. So by the time you come give them a bid, it's all done but the crying. You already know what the budget is. So if you're in the budget and you know what the decision-making process is and you know what their pain is, and you're the only vendor that's addressing their pain in their budget, and you understand their decision-making process, and it's probably by this point kind of favoring you, you already know whether you're going to get the bid or not. Where everyone else hasn't had any of this conversation, they're just throwing a bid and walking away.
For more free resources, blogs, training, and awesomeness, go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com and grow your cleaning company today.